wanted to talk today about a few concepts that are more mid-level, intermediate sort of level stuff, using paradiddles. Now, I did a little video using the practice pad the other week, and so this is kind of following on from that and using some of those ideas around the kit a little bit more. I guess if you're doing the rock school syllabus, levels 4, 5, 6, well, you've got the paradiddles right from the very beginning really, but they start opening up into different variations and using them on the kit more probably, around levels 4, 5 and 6, something like that. So the paradiddle, mixture of single and double strokes. Standard paradiddles generally tends to be the first one that we learn. Right, left, left, left. With or without accents at the beginning. By this level you'll know about all that. But what I wanted to talk about a little bit was taking that beyond the snare drum to sort of really see where the paradiddle starts coming into its own. So when we play it on the snare drum, we just get what essentially sounds like 8th notes or 16th notes running through there. But when we move that paradiddle onto the kit, that's really where it starts coming to life. So a simple exercise to start off with would be maybe putting the right hand on the ride cymbal, left hand on the snare. So here's how a standard paradiddle would sound. Note kind of rhythm, but with a lot more interesting texture going on in there. Notice the importance of the accents. The importance of the accents when we get to putting this on the kit. It's really where the groove comes from. If we play that pattern without the accents, it just sounds like a paradiddle. What we're trying to get is something that sounds more like rolling 16ths. Diggy, diggy, daggy, diggy, 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 daggy, diggy. So there's the basic linear sticking of the paradiddle around the kit. When this starts getting sort of cooking a little bit more, moving towards kind of funky type rhythms, is when we're going to start putting the bass drum in as well. So the next kind of exercise that you probably want to try against that is just sticking the bass drum in on 1 and 3, real nice and square. So here we go, 2, 3, 4. Next stage from there is going to be moving into moving the bass drum around in the bar, much in the same way as we would with an 8th note groove or a straight 16th groove on the hats. Gets a little bit tricky. Where the bass drums fall underneath the right hand is a lot easier to start off with. So things like pairs and quavers would be a good place to start, which would sound like this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Another nice easy group to start off with quite early would be using a dotted note and a 16th. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, the bass drum's falling on the right hand all the time. And then mixing those up. When we start moving the bass drum onto the left hand, a good little sort of technique for that is to try and think about actually tabbing things out. So if you write the paradiddle sticking between the ride and the snare, and then start putting the bass drums in, experiment with 16th note funk grooves, really, that sort of thing. It's a great way to get started with that. Another sticking which works great alongside with the standard paradiddle is the inverted paradiddle. Right, left, left, right, right, left. So the double strokes in the middle this time. So again, we build it up the same way between the ride cymbal and the snare. To keep the accent strong. All the other beats, if we drop those down and make them ghosted, so if you think of the sort of level that you would normally play your kit at, sort of at a moderate volume, mezzo forte for want of a better term, if we make the accents louder and bring the ghosted strokes or the other strokes down quieter than that, so you get a big internal dynamic in the groove. Again, building the inverted paradiddle up on the kit. If we drop the bass drum in on 1 and 3, we're going to get a good foundation to start building up bass drum improvising and variations, so we get this. So again, get lots of variation going in the bass drum. Learn to tab parts out for yourself. Again, if we're dealing with coordination between the hands and feet, that's often a great way of visualising how the hands and feet are fitting together. So 16th notes, get the inverted paradiddle sticking between the ride and the snare, and then plot your bass drums through. Just do lots and lots of variations and work out which hand things are going to fall with. So here's a little movement with the inverted paradiddle. Here we go. So a lot of 16th notes there. There are other paradiddle variations in 16th notes. Seek them out and try the same sort of thing. What I wanted to move on to in this video was looking at stickings which use extended paradiddle variations but lend themselves to triplets as well. Because a lot of the 8th note stuff will work in, a lot of the 16th note stuff that we've been doing will work in 16th note environments, 8th notes and quarter notes. It divides in quite nicely to that. When we're dealing with triplets, it works quite well in jazz or shuffle variations, so they're almost like the side branch from 8th notes and 16th notes. A good one to start off with, something like probably the paradiddle diddle is a good one. So right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, left. So you've got 2 sets of double strokes. Between the ride and the snare. And even if you just hear that rhythm, one of the things that I pick out from that, hearing that rhythm, is you almost hear a jazz ride cymbal pattern come out of that paradiddle diddle sticking. And that's where we can use that sticking quite well. If you're familiar with the concept of jazz comping, this is where we'd often play a jazz ride cymbal pattern and use the bass drum and snare drum quietly to kind of loosen that up a little bit, providing a bit of improvisation within the ride cymbal part. Prefixed stickings like the paradiddle diddle can work really well because they're rudiments that we learn and we can hopefully just slide them in as a sticking pattern within the groove. So I'll demonstrate that for you. So here's the jazz ride. Triplet kind of feel really nicely. Bit more pace. Real nice subtle little movement there to use. There's also an inverted paradiddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. Lots of different paradiddle sticking variations, but they all have unique characteristics and they do sound distinctly different from one another. So it really is worth learning, getting a good vocabulary of them and working them into your playing. And this is why the snare drum stuff is so important initially. And be patient because you can see how these things are going to sort of permeate through to your kit playing as well. So the inverted paradiddle. Right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. Right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right. Hopefully we'll kind of put that up on the screen and you'll get that sticking to be absolutely sure. So. It's very similar to a 6-stroke roll. Basically the same sticking and the same accenting, but very, very slightly different rhythms. So here's the inverted paradiddle between the ride cymbal and the snare. Let's slow down a little bit. Here we go. use that we used earlier. Subtle use of sticking, shifting the rhythm and the melody between the ride and snare around a little bit. There's another good sticking to use, which again is in a group of 6. These last 2 exercises that we've done have been sort of a 6-beat sticking, if you like. The double paradiddle. So right, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, right, left, left. So the sticking switches between leading hand and following hand. Okay, between the ride and the snare. Example of a sticking that doesn't really give away its secrets until you actually start putting it between a couple of different sounds. All of a sudden you can hear rhythm come out of it, and that's a great way of generating good musical ideas from what is essentially a technical exercise. It's just experimenting with it on the kit, going between 2 sounds, real simple, and see if you can find something musical in amongst that technical exercise that speaks to you and that you can develop. So that double paradiddle sticking is great for Afro-Cuban sort of rhythms. So we get a lot of that Afro-Cuban 6/8. So it's a cycle of 6 beats anyway, but played between the ride and the snare. Sometimes add a couple of toms in on the double strokes can work quite nicely, so we get this. Around the kit a little bit more. So here's that sticking a little bit quicker. With the bass drum in there as well. Here we go. 2, 3. There you go. Hopefully that's given you a few ideas of things that you can do with your paradiddles. So not only from a creative standpoint, but also to see why we should be so patient with some of the basic sticking patterns when we're starting off. So good luck with that. Relate that to the exam syllabus if you're working on it, but if not, just think about using stickings which aren't always single strokes and aren't always double strokes. Try and mixing them up and develop your own paradiddle stickings too. Good luck with that.